We're getting ready to set sail on the Voyager of the Seas. Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. I am Joe and I am taking you on our very first cruise. It just so happened that I came into a little bit of money right around the time that it was the 20th anniversary of Carrie and I meeting, so I figured we'd go on a little quick getaway. And that getaway was on Royal Caribbean's Voyager of the Seas, once the largest ship on the planet. It was the Titanic of its day, now one of the smallest ships in Royal Caribbean's fleet. But it's a really nice ship. It's still big, just not relative to things like the Icon and Star of the Seas. And we had a blast, and I want to share it all with you, so let's get right into it. Now, we flew out of Buffalo and we had an early flight, so we decided to stay overnight at a hotel nearby. And when you're in Buffalo, you do not miss the chance to hit up the famous Anchor Bar. That's where the Buffalo Wing was born. So we shared a nice meal of pizza and wings. It's a perfect meal for when you have to go to bed early to catch a flight. And we stayed at one of the nearby airport hotels. Okay, so we are at the airport after a very sketchy hotel stay. It was under refurbishment and stuff like that, so I mean, give it a little bit of credit, but it was a bit much.
There was a cot in the hallway.
A couple of weird fold-out cots that made me think Shutter Island for some reason. But yeah, we're here, and as usual, we're the only ones here. We're early.
Good morning, people.
Yeah. So, yeah, next stop, Orlando, then Port Canaveral. We flew out of a snowy Buffalo airport. Now, this trip was a trip that we took earlier in the year. This is not current snow, but it's always nice when you have that feeling of leaving somewhere that has bad weather and knowing that when you land, you're going to be in warm, sunny weather. We landed in Orlando International Airport, which always floods me with good feelings because I never land there without having something amazing planned. Then we took an Uber to Port Canaveral, where we saw the Disney Fantasy among other ships at the port, as we made our way to the Radisson Resort by the port, just a little way down the road from the ships. The room was gigantic for the price we paid. It had a separate bedroom with soaker tub in the room, which felt a little dated overall, but still not bad, and had a separate living area with couch, TV, and kitchenette. The bathroom was broken up into a sink area, so you could brush your teeth, wash your face, and whatever, and the toilet shower area, so all that could be done separately. The hotel had an amazing pool area with a waterfall, and it was a great way to relax after the long trip. And they also had a little semi-hidden hot tub. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're in Florida, you're hot tub. I don't turn down hot tubs. It's not who I am. We had some dinner by the pool. I had chicken tenders like a big boy, and Carrie asked for the jerk mahi tacos. Both meals, decent poolside fare, not too bad. But after we ate, we turned in early because something pretty exciting was happening the next morning. So it's the morning of embarkation. We're just sitting here in the hotel right now. Found out yesterday evening that there was going to be a launch this morning, which I did not know was going to be the case, so we were excited. I got up at 3:20 to catch the 3:54 launch, only to find out that it had been delayed because of fog, and it is quite foggy out there right now. Hopefully it lifts by the time we get on the boat so we can kind of see what's going on around us, but if not, let the fog take us. So yeah, the ships are down that way, but we can't see them. We were able to clearly see them when we were looking yesterday. But the fog. So with that opportunity missed, we grabbed the hotel-provided shuttle and headed to the port for our cruise. Now, when you get to the port, you're going to drop off your main luggage with the porters, and you're going to keep your carry-on with you. Make sure that you have the provided luggage tags attached to the main luggage, otherwise they're not going to know where to deliver it. And don't forget to have tip money available for the porters. They work for a separate company than Royal Caribbean, and they're working really hard out there to make sure that everybody gets their bags, so tip generously. We made our way up the ramp to the line for our check-in at our designated time and got our first look at the ship, the Voyager of the Seas. The lines were pretty big, but they do move along quite quickly. They're pretty good at what they do there. Once we were checked in, there's nothing left to do but board the ship for our very first cruise.
Joe, and Harry. We'll take care of a lot more people.
Thank you very much. Looks like they're checking the passes again as you get on, so... No. Well, you see what they do to stowaways in pirate movies. You stepped on. So we just did our muster drill. We've done our safety thing and all that. They just showed us basically how to use the life vest, where to find them, when to do what, essentially. So now we're going to go and see if we can find our room and see what's what. We got into our room right away. Our stateroom keys were waiting for us at the door. We actually got an upgrade from our indoor stateroom to an indoor stateroom with a promenade view, and we did this by bidding on it. So how the bidding works is there's a program with Royal Caribbean called Royal Up, and after you actually sign up for your cruise, and once it's paid for and all that, you're going to get an invite via email to join Royal Up, or you can search it out yourself on Royal Caribbean's website. And what it is it gives you the opportunity to go in and look at all the other staterooms that are above the one that you booked, and then you can put down a bid on how much you would pay to upgrade to that room. Now, a little closer to actual cruise time, if there are rooms available that you have bid on, they will let you know if you were the highest bidder, and if you were, you can choose to accept it. Now, you can bid for every single type of room if you want, but the only one you're going to get charged for is the one that you actually accept. So don't worry about that. Don't think that you're going to get a bunch of charges on if you happen to be the highest bidder on multiple types of rooms. But this ended up being pretty good. I just kind of, as a LARP, just put down some small bids on a few things just to see if something would happen, and we actually got our upgrade for $40. Because I have a CPAP machine, they provided us with distilled water and an extension cord, pretty common among cruise lines. You do need to make sure that when you're booking your cruise that you request that ahead of time, though. You're not allowed to bring your own extension cords or anything like that aboard the ship. They will confiscate them. And you don't want to be in a position where you might not be able to set that up on your first night because now you have to put a request in and wait for one to be delivered. This is all done completely complimentary to you. You just have to make sure that you fill out the correct request.
That's where our life jackets are.
Yeah. That's the adjoining room. Okay, give us a bed test. Shoes off. How is it, comfy?
It's very firm. It's firmer than we're used to, but it feels like it'll be comfy.
Our exploration of the ship continued with a quick view of the promenade, followed by a trip to Windjammer, the buffet restaurant on the ship. A warning that it does get very busy in Windjammer, well, always, but especially ahead of the cruise as the dining options are limited. But we managed to enjoy our first and second dishes of the cruise, all of which were quite tasty. We checked out a little more of the interior of the ship before we made our way on deck for the first time, just ahead of the sail away party. Carrie got herself a nice drink to kick off the vacation, but I had something much more important in mind. If you didn't know that you can get free ice cream on a cruise, well, what are you still doing here? You can get free ice cream on a cruise. Now, the soft serve was a little less smooth, a little bit more crystallized than I'm used to, but it's still ice cream and it's delish. And the sail away party continued until we sailed away. Okay, and we are all actually settled into the room. We're packed now. We are sailing. We attended the sail away party. I will say it was a little disappointing just because it was a little bit of a dance party and then just kind of we were already going. There was no kind of pomp and circumstance behind actually leaving. We just turned around and we're like, oh, we're moving, which all good. We're cruising now, baby. We cruising?
We're cruising.
All right, so now that we've done that, we're going to regroup and figure out what we're going to do next. So we're out here on the deck, and you can see we're moving quite fast already, and faster than I actually thought, which I guess is something. Very windy, so if you're getting in the pool, make sure you're mindful of that because it's quite cool getting out of. And I started to really feel the movement. Felt like I was walking on a treadmill as I was walking around. If I did look over to the side and see us in motion, kind of got a little thrown off. So threw one of these bad boys on, and hopefully that works everything out. Trivia contests are going to be a big theme on this trip as we took part in a lot of them, but this was the first, a music trivia game.
Oh yeah.
Jesse's back.
Okay, I would like to say bar team for this guy, close the bar for this guy, maximum orange juice for him, alright? I'm gonna put it. Oh yeah.
So we just finished up. We got 4 wrong total. Only one of them we didn't know. We knew the other songs, just got the titles wrong. No keychain for us, not this time anyways, but plenty more to come. The exploration of the Voyager of the Seas continued with a trip through the casino. I'm pretty sure that was Carrie's only trip through the casino because one thing you don't know is that smoking is allowed in the casino. It's the only place smoking is allowed. So when you're going through there, it can be really rough if you're a non-smoker. It affected me a lot, but it affected her a lot more. She was willing to go up the stairs, go across, and come back down. I was too lazy and would just cut through. We made our way back up on deck to experience the cruise at night. They were playing Harold and the Purple Crayon on the big screen. And then we had our first dinner in the main dining room. You'll be assigned a table, and that is your table for the whole cruise for any meal you choose to join them for. For appetizers, I had the roasted tomato soup, which was a lot tastier than it looked, and Carrie had the escargot, a favorite of hers. For entrees, I had the spaghetti bolognese, and Carrie had a curry. And for dessert, Carrie had a little cheese plate, and I had some ice cream, and my head server, Mark, threw in a cookie for me, again, because I'm a big boy. Finally, we took in our first show of the cruise at Studio B, which acts as the ship's ice rink during the cruise, where we watched Ice Odyssey, a figure skating show based on the mysterious mystique of tarot cards. The show was impressive, especially given that the ship is moving while this is happening and they had such small space to work with. There was a little audience participation in it, and overall the show was really fun, and it was in a nice intimate setting compared to something like the theater. And so ended our first day aboard the Voyager the Seas. We had a great day and we had lots to do the next day. It was another day at sea, so we had a lot more ship exploration, we had more games, and we had a lot more food, so stay tuned for that. In fact, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when the new videos are coming out. And while you're down there, you might as well hit the like button. It helps me get seen. But that's going to be it for this one. I can't wait to share day 2 of this cruise with you, so make sure you stay tuned, and we got a lot more stuff coming up. So until next time, whatever you do, make it magical.